She told me the door's right there. So I walked out. She never expected I'd lock it behind me. Hi there. I'm glad you made it to this story. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and share this video. It really helps support the channel. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from. City, country, anywhere. I love seeing how far these stories reach. Now let's dive in. We stepped into the Aldridge Hotel's ballroom a few minutes after 7:30. The place shimmered with that calculated opulence. Chandeliers dimmed just right, glasses sparkling under golden lights, the kind of night where everyone's posture stiffens and smiles are measured. I remember how Elise walked a step ahead of me, deliberate, poised like she was being photographed. Her emerald gown clung perfectly to her figure, flowing like water with every step. Heads turned just like she knew they would. She thrived on that. And I let her have that moment. I even smiled, proud, supportive. At least that's what I told myself. But what came next changed everything. It was the annual corporate awards gala. The kind of night where upper management schmoozed with department heads, and everyone smiled just a bit too hard while mentally calculating their place on the promotion ladder. I had just been named Director of Security Infrastructure. Not a title people cheer about, but to me, it was the result of years of grinding. I wanted Elise there to share it. I thought her presence meant something. But almost as soon as we arrived, she disappeared into the crowd. I ended up nursing a soda water near the bar, watching her across the room. Her laughter carried farther than it should have. Bright, melodic, like a bell rung just a bit too often. She stood with Jace, one of the DevOps guys. Younger, lean, M10. Always cracking jokes like he was auditioning for attention. Her hand brushed his arm casually, then did it again. She twirled a strand of hair around her finger while speaking to him. That unconscious flirtation she denied ever doing. I wasn't jealous. Not exactly. Years in cybersecurity had sharpened my instincts. I didn't need proof. I recognized a pattern when I saw it. By the time we sat down for dinner, she was back beside me, calm as ever. She picked at the overcooked chicken, complained idly, scrolled through her phone like the rest of the night hadn't just happened. On the Uber ride home, silence draped over us like a wet towel. Heavy, unspoken, but not forgotten. Eventually I broke it. You and Jace seemed pretty close tonight. She unclipped her earrings without even glancing at me. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, it didn't seem like just polite conversation. She turned then, not startled, just flat. If me being friendly bothers you, that's your own insecurity talking. Dismissive. No hesitation. I didn't think I was insecure. I thought I was paying attention. She gave a soft chuckle, more amused than cruel. Seriously, Dean. Relax. I didn't argue. I just logged it, like noting an intrusion on a system. Timestamp. Or. Reviewed later. It was the first entry in a list that was about to grow far longer than I ever imagined. After that night, things didn't return to normal. Elisa's smiles remained intact, as did the carefully curated photos she posted. Brunches, couple selfies, vague captions about balance and ambition. But something had shifted under the surface. She stopped working from the kitchen and started frequenting cafes. Said the buzz helped her focus better. She was a freelance content consultant, so her hours were fluid, but she always used to stay nearby. Now she'd vanish for long stretches. She became territorial about her laptop. It snapped shut whenever I entered the room. Conversations became transactional. No more late-night documentaries, no more pillow talk. Just weather updates and reminders to buy milk. Then one evening, I came home to find her laptop open on the couch. She must have stepped away for a call. The screen had dimmed, not locked. I knew better. But I looked. The chat window was still up. Instagram DMs. It wasn't explicit. But it didn't have to be. You always make me laugh. Quit teasing me. Don't forget our little secret. Our secret. I closed the laptop just as I heard her return. I didn't confront her that night. I wasn't looking to ignite something. I just wanted clarity. So later, as we were getting ready for bed, I asked, Are you still talking to Jace? She froze mid-motion in the mirror. What are you trying to say? I saw the messages, I said quietly. They were on the screen. I didn't snoop. They were just there. Her eyes narrowed. So now you're checking up on me? I asked a simple question. She tied her hair up tighter like she was winding herself up too. Wow. Invading my privacy. Really? I stayed calm. I saw something that didn't feel right. That's all. She stepped back, arms folded. This is control. You twist everything. I can't even talk to someone without it becoming a trial. I said nothing. That silence. It bothered her more than any argument would have. She laughed bitterly, grabbed her phone and stormed out of the room. I didn't follow. A few nights later, we went to a rooftop party for one of her influencer friends, Brielle's birthday. Elise had dressed for attention. Blood-red dress. New heels. She didn't say much on the drive. But as we entered the venue, the transformation flipped on like a switch. Big smile. Bigger energy. And then I saw him, Jace. Course he was there. She made a direct beeline toward him. The hug lasted too long. Their laughter was effortless. She leaned in, brushed his chest as she laughed. His hand rested on her lower back, and she didn't flinch. That night, as we drove home in silence, I kept both hands locked on the steering wheel. When we arrived, she casually removed her earrings and jewelry like nothing unusual had occurred. I finally said, I need us to talk. Really talk. She didn't pause. I can't just pretend what happened tonight with Jace meant nothing. She exhaled. Dean, still on that. I saw how you let him touch you. So what? She snapped. Now every conversation is an interrogation. You know it wasn't just small talk. She finally turned to me and said the words that changed everything. If you're this unhappy, the door's right there. No emotion. No regret. I nodded slowly. Thanks for clarifying. She rolled her eyes and left the room. That night I didn't toss and turn. Planned. In the days that followed, I moved funds from our joint account, rerouted bills into her name, and canceled the ones I'd been covering. I scanned lease documents. Only my name on it. Rent would be paid through month's end. After that, she was on her own. I backed up all my personal files. Packed a suitcase. Essentials only. On the fourth morning, while she still slept, I left a note on the counter with my key. You said the door was open. I used it. Rent's covered through the end of the month. After that, it's yours. Dean. No grand exit. No argument. Just certainty. At 7:42 a.m. I walked out. The silence that followed was peaceful. 2 days later I turned on my phone. 39 missed calls. Flood of text. Seriously? You just left. You couldn't even say goodbye? You're being dramatic. I didn't respond. Not out of pettiness, but because I no longer owed her anything. A few days later, her friend Zoe DM'd me. I thought you guys were already over. Elise told us weeks ago you were splitting. I asked. When did she say that? At brunch. She said she was just exploring. Figured you'd eventually freak out. So that was it. She hadn't been caught off guard. She'd been writing the ending. I just delivered it sooner than she planned. Weeks later, she showed up at my office. Reception called. Your wife's here. Says it's urgent. I looked down from my office window. There she stood, arms folded, face set like a mask. I didn't go down. Instead, I called reception. Please let her know personal matters must go through email. If she refuses to leave, contact building security. Security escorted her out. She yelled something and kicked at the glass door. Later that day, HR sat me down. I explained everything calmly. They barred her from entering the building again. That evening, she emailed. The Wi-Fi's not working. This is petty. I responded once. The account's in my name. So is the lease. You wanted space. This is part of it. She replied. I can't afford this place alone. I never answered. Few friends started reaching out. Some apologized for taking sides. Some admitted they'd seen the cracks too. 2 weeks later, she asked to meet. We met at a quiet cafe. She looked tired, worn, unrecognizable from the curated version of herself she projected online. I didn't think you'd actually leave, she said. But you told me the door was open, I replied. I didn't mean it, she whispered. I thought you'd fight for me. You treated me like I didn't know how to leave. Then she asked, would you ever consider trying again? I didn't hesitate. No. That was the last time I saw Elise. 3 months passed. She moved in with her sister. Picked up a job folding clothes at a suburban mall. Her posts dwindled. The sympathy dried up. Her audience had moved on. So had I. Divorce was underway. Every communication went through lawyers. My new apartment was smaller but peaceful. Quiet. I started saying yes again to hikes, to drinks, to life. Eventually I met someone. No drama. No guessing games. Just peace. One Sunday, I mounted a framed print on the wall. Minimalist. Just words in black. If you're unhappy, leave. She said it in anger. But it turned out to be the best thing she ever gave me. Let me know in the comments what stood out to you. And if you've ever had to walk through a door someone didn't think you'd use, I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, take care of yourselves. And never apologize for choosing peace.